Welcome to Tesla Talks. I'm your host, Tiana. I'll be interviewing high achievers, influential leaders, and those with powerful stories. Tune in, buckle up. We're about to go 0 to 100 real quick.
This is good because this is my current only good side. My right side looks more pregnant than my left side.
You're interrupting our date. It's kind of like our friends are just
are you crying?
Okay.
I feel like you might be crying.
My team knows. So while I was getting my makeup done this morning, it was I think there's like a little bit of powder in my eye.
Oh, okay. And it's been watery.
It was like tight line. Yeah, just a little bit.
I was worried. Yeah.
No, thank you for being so concerned about me. I appreciate that. Just like, no, these are real tears.
You're like, I just cry every time I hear Cruel Summer.
I'm not crying. It's just my eyes do this. Okay, just one actually. Welcome to the podcast today, everyone. You don't know how excited I am for today because we have honestly my favorite person ever.
Now I'm gonna cry.
No. You know her, you love her. I am so honored to have her here. Bestie
And a Tessie.
Madi Murphy, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Tesla Talks.
Thank you for having me. I can honestly say I've never been interviewed in a car or recorded in a car. But I did. This is kind of reminiscent because I feel like before I had a podcast, I would listen to podcasts and I would be like, and I would drive around and I would pretend to have a podcast. So now this is like full circle, recording a real podcast in a car instead of my fake ramblings in a car.
What were you driving while you're
I drove a Chevy Cruze.
Chevy Cruze.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were cool at the time. They were cool. Like 2014, they were cool.
Oh, do you know what? They're cool if you're driving it.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, they are.
They're like, actually, Chevy's stock just went up just a little bit. Like, probably.
Oh, I wish. No, I did love that little Cruze though. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So what would be your dream car though?
I've actually been thinking about this because I turned 30 in October.
Shut up.
And I keep thinking like, okay, it's time to get my dream car. Like it's time but now I'm about to have a baby. So I'm like, I don't want to get my dream car and then have it be trashed by the demon spawn inside of me. So I don't know. I have a few cars. Like I like bulkier cars. So I like Broncos. I like Land Rovers, like kind of square Jeeps. Like I like kind of clunkier cars rather than like a sports car or anything.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're one of those like cool moms for sure. Where it's like
Thank
cool
you.
mom, not a regular mom. You know that.
Like cool car.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't know that reference, get out.
Get
out of the car.
Here's the exit button.
There's the door, bitch.
I can already tell this is gonna be great.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if I end up getting a dream car or just like, I don't know, I should probably invest that money in like my child's future, but we'll see.
Do you know what? I think if we just mention on the podcast right off.
Yeah, that's true. That's my business model.
Yeah.
Is that if I talk about it on the podcast, it's a write-off.
It's kind of like David Rose, you know? He's
yes. The government pays me for it.
But who? It's a write-off.
Yeah, they just you write it off. It's not that confusing.
I think we've sent probably like 4 or 5 different sponsorship like nudges for Mercedes or like a lot of different people. And so right now, I mean, we could totally utilize this moment.
I mean, I mentioned the word car, so every car payment I make is a write-off now.
Car, life, nails,
my insurance, everything. I write it all off.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I honestly just, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like I'm in the car with my best friend. We haven't seen each other for a long time.
Yeah, we haven't.
It's been a while.
It's been like almost 30 years since we saw each other last.
Really has.
Right? Well, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, yeah. It's been 28 years since we saw each other.
I'm so sorry it's been that long.
It's fine.
You know, it's my fault.
You missed like every important part of my life, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just been like, I've had you in my ear holes for a while.
Yes.
Just like every week.
Yes.
So I know you're really busy. So I feel connected to you in that way.
I'm not busy at all.
Have you seen anything about Taylor Swift? Nothing's
Oh yeah, not a lot going on at the moment. Yeah, that's me all the time. Yeah, all the time. People are like, when are you free? I'm like, right now. I can go right now. Whatever you want to do.
I saw Maddie walking down the street and I was like, hey, you want to be in my podcast?
Yeah, I just was wondering.
Like, oh, hi. But I feel like many people who listen to your podcast, I feel like it would be everybody who listens. And if you're listening, you're most likely a Patty. You should be on her Patreon because that's literally
Tiana pays for my Patreon and I still don't know why. I feel like I should Venmo you.
No, please no.
gonna Venmo you. So
I'm gonna like Venmo you, and then this will just be a whole
actually,
war.
could you pay me more? Could you start paying? No, just anybody. I mean, anybody who dedicates any time, even like listening to the podcast, is like my angel. But people who pay to listen to more podcast is just my life.
Hey, do you know what? We will just get as much as we can out of you, because I feel like, honestly, every person needs a Maddie in their life. And I feel like this is like the easiest way to make that happen.
That's the nicest thing.
Well, do you know what?
Nice.
Like, and for real, like after, our pandemic and everything with the world, I feel like there was a really big sense of isolation. And maybe that was right after, where our social media world was, where everyone is just very curated. And
I'm just going to get this hair off your lip.
Oh my gosh, you're the best.
There you go.
Thank
you got it.
Thanks, love. I feel like we were getting to this part of our society where we just felt like we're getting tired of curation, and we're kind of just needing a little bit more real talk. We need more real discussions about things. And so I feel like that just couldn't have been plopped into our lives at the right, like a better time,
That's nice.
And then I just feel like, when you listen to Maddie on her podcast, you just feel like you're just sitting in your car like this. Honestly, I am getting deja vu, except for it's not in here or there. It's right next to me.
I'm three-dimensional now.
It's like astounding quality,
Yeah.
But I feel like I have listened to you every single week. I'm a dedicated broad in the community, and I feel like it's on every single Monday. So if I'm on a road trip, bad broadcast. If there's someone in the car who hasn't heard,
that's
conversion.
So nice. That's
I feel
so
like
nice.
a missionary for the bad broadcast, because I feel like I'm like, you're converted. Just like,
you're giving
I'm not
people
sure what that system
the first
looks
discussion
like.
of the bad broadcast.
So we're going back to bad, like nightmare. Oh, what was it? My favorite podcast is probably all of them. One of the ones I will remember forever are the Roommates from Hell.
Oh yeah, the roommates ones are always really bad. I don't know why those ones get insane. Like I feel like I don't even know how, because I'm like, oh, bad dates have got to be the worst, or bad in-laws, but bad roommates, like the luck of the draw with the roommate game is so not in anybody's favor. Like I don't know anybody. I think I probably said this, but it's like everybody has had a weird roommate.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, you're the weird roommate, and like you've been a weird roommate.
Right.
So,
It says something about you.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you've never had a bad school picture, I am concerned.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I'm feeling like it's going more towards that, and people are just getting luckier, but I feel like it does help your personality.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I've been through something hard. I've had a really bad haircut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Can you swear on this? Or no, are you not? It's okay. I don't really swear on mine, so it's totally fine.
Oh, no. Like,
yeah.
Totally. Like, whatever you want to say.
Well, I was just going to say, because now everybody's talking about the ass bob. Like, on,
I was going to say.
Yeah, like that everybody had. I had, like, I didn't have, like, a bob, like, up to my chin, but I had a haircut that was, like, the exact same shape as, like, Darth Vader's helmet. So it was, like, exactly, like, right above my shoulders, curled under, and then bangs that curled under, and that was my.
Was it at least
FAB.
around Halloween? And then
No.
we had, like, utilized it a little bit, like.
It wasn't.
No saving it.
It wasn't. But what I was going to say about the roommates, about the bad roommates, is that like I don't know why there's not like a test for people to like exist in the real world. Like I feel like when you graduate high school, you should have to take like a litmus test of like how well can you like function? Like can you do a dish? Do you know how to vacuum?
That is so
can
important.
you flush a toilet?
These are real things.
Yeah, because people move in with people and they're like, I lived with a roommate who never flushed, and I'm like, why was there no course on that?
I don't think they should be allowed to leave their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be.
But I feel like it's so crazy, because it's like you would think that there are more people out there. I mean, it's good to think positively, where you're like, okay, I have faith in humanity, but things like that,
I don't. The longer I do the podcast, I simultaneously have more faith in people and less faith in people, because like when I'm like getting down and dirty in my DMs and I'm talking to people and I'm like, I literally love these people more than I can even say, and then sometimes I get DMs or submissions that I'm like, how have you made it this far? How have we made it this far without utilizing Google? How have we made it this far without media literacy? Totally. But we'll get there. I like to think I can educate the people.
Yeah. We have Judge Maddie in the car.
Yes.
So, I mean, hear ye, listen now.
Exactly.
Don't clean a dish, straight to jail.
Yes. 100%.
This is criminal. I mean, I don't know how everything that you produce is just gold. I think it's so funny.
That is so nice.
And I do remember you saying something like, I mean, there are people who are giving you DMs, or I don't know if this is like, who was it who was giving you funny for a girl? I thought that was interesting. I mean, just the feedback that you're getting from some people.
Oh, yeah. People hate my funny for a girl thing.
No,
yeah.
I think that's hilarious. It's badass because literally just like jokes on you. I made it into my merch.
Yeah.
Like just took
But sometimes people hate the merch. Like I got a lot of people because I have this, so I have this funny for a girl merch because that was feedback that I got a lot early on. It was a bunch of people being like, I don't really think girls are funny, but if you are really funny for a girl, you are really, and I've noticed, I mean, a lot of women that are like in this space or whatever get it. And so I did this funny for a girl merch. This was like probably it was like 2.5 years ago when I did it for the first time. But now people will see it and they don't, because before, if you saw it, you knew it was my merch, and it like you kind of got it. Now
you got the inside joke.
Yeah, but now there's like people who see it that don't know who I am and they don't
like,
get it.
What do you mean?
And they'll be like, "That is so degrading to women," and I'll be like, "Yeah, I know. Like that's why I did it. Like that's why I put it on there because if I'm gonna be demeaned, then I'm gonna make money off of it.
Yeah, you're like."
But yeah, somebody saw it at like a Savers or something or a DI, and they were
someone gave up their bad
Oh yeah. I love it's actually it's happened a few times. People will send it to me and they'll be like, somebody donated this, and I'll be like, good. At least they didn't throw it in the trash. At least they were recycling. I'm all for it. Let's save Mother Earth. Let's like donate our clothes and then buy secondhand. So it was totally fine. But yeah, somebody posted it was like, what is this shit? I can't believe somebody would ever say that girls are less funny than men. And I'm like, you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's my DM. So anyway.
How many DMs do you get a day?
Oh, I don't know. Too many to manage, but I look through my requests. I try to go through them. I really do try my best. It's hard because people will, sometimes I open them and then I forget or like I see or whatever. And then I think it stresses people out and they'll be like, you opened it. Like, are you mad? Like, did you? And I always I feel so bad every time that happens. And I always just want to be like, I've never like opened a DM and thought like, oh, I'm mad at this person.
I'm going to choose to not. I'm just going to leave them on red.
Yeah.
To make them feel bad. Be like, you, Sandy, today is not your day.
Well, no, here's the thing. If you send me a DM that bugs me, I will tell you.
Right. Oh.
Like if people send me things that are like somebody sent me something that was like kind of offensive. It wasn't like a big deal. I don't even remember what it was.
Who are you?
But
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know your username. I have it. No, but I message, but like I'll message if people say something that like irks me or I think is like rude or something. I usually those aren't the ones that I don't respond to. So if I ever leave you on red, it's not because I thought you were offensive or weird. I promise that I will tell you if I think you're being offensive or weird. It's usually just that I suck at messaging everybody back. So we'll get there one day.
Well, Bestie, I'm so glad that you answered mine.
Yes,
and
me too.
Here we are. But yeah, I want people who are, maybe new to podcasting or haven't, they've been living under a rock maybe and have maybe not heard of you yet. And I'd be so honored to introduce you to the Bad Broadcast and to Maddie.
Thanks.
But I would love for you to kind of like tell your experience of like what it's been like to do this because it's amazing to see someone who makes it look so natural and who just instantly connects with people and the community that you've built.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. I have like the best. And I'm not just saying this. Like I had a girl on a couple weeks ago, my friend Macy, and we've only known each other for a few months, and she messaged me after we did the podcast, and she was like, "You have the nicest followers I've ever met. Like everybody who's messaged me, who've like found me through you, is like the nicest, most respectful, coolest. Like she just got dozens of DMs from my listeners that were so nice, and I really do just have like really amazing people who listen and support me, and it's just the overwhelming majority of people are so nice. So the community is all them. That's all them being great people. So I can't take credit for that. But so I started my kind of like process, I guess, or journey or whatever. I started the Bad Broadcast Instagram. Sorry, you've probably heard this, like, because
no. We want to go back.
We're going back, go back to the beginning, as Hillary said. Hillary Duff told us. So I started the Bad Broadcast account, like Instagram account, in January of 2020. And I was taking a writing class at the time, and I just kind of used it as like a brain dump. Like I was like, I'm just going to kind of like, if I write funny bits or if I want to do, like, it was just going to kind of be like a hobby corner.
Kind of do whatever you want with it.
But I was like, I felt this pull to kind of do something like that. So then, 2020 happens and COVID hits and whatever. And in June, I was like, I feel like I need to. I had been working at a bakery and I wasn't working there anymore. And I was like, I feel like I could do something like this. I feel like I could like be my own boss and whatever.
Boss babe.
Yeah. So June 2020, I decided to start the podcast that was like connected to my Instagram, obviously, because I had already had the Bad Broadcast. So started the Bad Broadcast podcast, and I decided that it was going to be kind of a place, because like everything at that time was like, everyone was like trying to be super positive and super like everyone was meditating and doing like, Chloe Ting ab workouts.
Yeah, we've got
and
our positive talks. I mean,
yes, people were like loving like, band together like 2020 anyway. And I was like, I'm going to make a place where we're going to talk about like the worst of things. Yeah. So we're going to talk about like bad dates, bad wedding trends, bad, all of those things. Yeah. So that's kind of what I did. So I would do it, and then I would say, I don't think it's working. I'll just do it one more week. Yeah. And then I would do it one more week, and then a few more people would listen. A few more people would post or message me, and I'd be like, okay, I can do it one more week. And
which twisted your arm.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, fine. Listen to myself talk for another hour. Don't mind if I do.
We the people want more Maddie. You want more Bad Mondays.
So I just kept doing it, and it just kind of, I mean, it was people sharing it. It was people posting about it and telling their friends. And so it just kind of snowballed. And then May of 2021 is when I got contacted by Dear Media. So Dear Media was like, I mean, and Dear Media seemed like insane to me. Like that did not even seem like, I can't even tell you. Like I listened to all like the Bitch Bible, Absolutely Not, What We Said. Like I listened to all these Dear Media podcasts, and I was like, that does not seem real that I could ever do that. So they picked up the podcast, and I just kind of like held on and was like, I'll do whatever you want. You want podcasts? I'll give them to you. Like, and they've been awesome. And so since then I've made it my job, my career, I love it. I'm super, super proud of it. It definitely comes with some stuff, it comes with some stuff that's hard, because I am just doing it by myself. I don't have an assistant or a co-host or anything like that. So
we can get that for you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I need. But yeah, so it definitely I have moments where, because it is my life, it's like I don't clock out of work and then go home and then not think about it ever again. It's like I am constantly thinking about Bad Broadcast and the people that I talk to and what am I saying and what kind of influence do I have and all that. So it can get heavy, but like I said, the overwhelming majority of people are so unbelievably kind and encouraging that it's like at the end of the day, I go to bed and I'm like, how did I even do this? How am I even? So again, I have to credit my listeners and them, because they are the golden ones here.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that is so wild. And we listen and we're like, yeah, duh, Maddie, you're totally born for this.
That's so nice.
It would probably take me, I listen and I'm like, I'm not sure. I am super curious though. I mean, like, what kind of goes into a podcast? Do you kind of think about what you want to write before? Is it premeditated? Not premeditated. That's probably the wrong word.
No, that's, I get what you mean.
Just kind of maybe thinking about some thoughts before.
Yeah.
Like a bit or something, because I'm thinking like, she just hit that. I mean, it is fire regardless of your answer. Well, but I feel like, I'm like, that was so cool. I like rewind it and then I rewind it. So it takes like 2 hours listening to your podcast.
That's
like,
so nice. No, I definitely, at the beginning, I had a script. At the beginning, I would write like an hour long script. And it's funny because, anyway, the podcast has evolved in a lot of different ways. But I used to write a script and I used to re-record it like 3 or 4 times. Like I used to go through till I could really nail it. And now that I'm more comfortable doing it and I kind of know what, a lot of it's like knowing how it sounds and how I like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's like there are jokes that I tell that sound better on audio than they do in person. Like, I don't know. So kind of figuring out those things and those jokes that I like and the kind of dynamic of jokes that I like on the podcast. But so now that I'm comfortable doing that, I can usually do them. But I mean, on my story submissions, I obviously go through and I read all the submissions and then I pick the ones. And I usually have like a few like kind of notes in my head of like what I want to say about it. And then I have a note in my phone of like things I want to bring up. So like either like a TikTok that I saw or like a celebrity thing or a thing that happened to me or all of that. So that's kind of my outline. But I definitely used to be a lot more methodical, a lot more rehearsed, but I kind of got into the habit of like, okay, how can I tell this story on the podcast and how can I phrase it and all that. And a lot of it was listening to other podcasts too. And like, okay, how do they tell their stories? How do they say them fast? How do they say the punchline? How like quick are they, you know, respond, you know, things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of it was that.
Did you ever have or experience imposter syndrome?
Oh, or every waking moment of my life. I post this on my Instagram story that I'm like trying to get out of like imposter syndrome and into like delusion where I'm like, no, everything I do is perfect and funny and I've never done anything wrong ever. That way. I mean, it is better that way. And honestly, like I've had to let go of a lot of that just simply to be able to keep going. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, if I sit and think about it and you know, a lot of it, again, I'm not trying to like obsess over like my audience or anything like that. But I mean,
she loves you. That's
but I love you guys. And I screenshot things that people say, you know, that when they tell me like when it's encouraging and I will go back and be like, okay, like I can do this. I can do this a little bit longer. I am doing okay. Like this person has, you know, told me that I am capable of doing this. So we're going to do it and we're going to keep faking it. But yeah, a lot of it is faking it.
Everyone needs to just like DM her all the time and just make sure this always goes forever.
Yeah. So if you guys could keep DM, no, I'm totally not saying that, but
we could have like the Bad Grannies reunion, like when we're like 80 and we're like, we just never let her down in the DMs and we ended up being 80 and fun.
Literally.
And
but I think that is a good point with imposter syndrome is that like, I mean, for anybody and not just me and my DMs, but it's like, it's kind of like relying on people who encourage you and love you.
Yeah.
Because like, they want the best for you. They see you in a different way. And it's like, if you are like doing something that you're like, oh, I don't deserve to be doing this or I'm not good at this, like lean on your loved ones who are the ones that are saying like, no, you got this and you can do like, and if you don't believe them, just pretend.
They love it. They're obsessed.
Yeah. But it's like leaning on the encouragement of others, I think is like huge for imposter syndrome because sometimes it's not easy to like convince yourself. But you know, when I listen to the people that I trust and that I love and that can tell me that I'm doing okay, then that's when I can keep going.
Oh, that is so good. I mean, so how did people kind of start to trickle in when you were starting or like people that you knew when you were posting or were there a lot of people that you didn't know?
It was early on. Sorry, I just cut you off. Was that the end?
Yeah, that was the end.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. It was probably like, at the very beginning, it was for sure just people I knew because I just posted on like my personal Instagram, which doesn't exist anymore. But I said like, hey, I'm going to move over to the Bad Broadcast like full time.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it was people that I knew. And then I would say probably like 3 or 4 months in is when I started hearing from a lot of people that I didn't know, but that were friends of friends.
Yeah.
You know, that it was like, oh, I saw, you know, my neighbor posted about you and it was like somebody that I went to high school with or whatever.
Gotcha.
So it was definitely word of mouth. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looking back now and we're so many years in, which wonderful years. I feel like it's just like all of us that we spent together.
It's been a lot of weeks.
We've done a lot. I mean, we've had ups and downs. We've cried. We laughed.
Absolutely.
Live, laugh, love.
We've lived, laughed, loved it. Yeah.
How, when you look back, what would you tell 8-year-old Maddie?
8-year-old?
8-year-old Maddie.
8-year-old. Okay. 8-year-old Maddie. Oh, it's funny because I just did an episode about, like teachers, like I had a bunch of teachers like submit stories. So I was thinking about like that guy just hit that cone.
Loser.
But so I was thinking a lot about like elementary school and like my teachers in elementary school and like who I was. And I was talking about Halloween and I was talking about how I was concerned about how people perceived me from a young age. Like I never wanted to like dress up for Halloween because I didn't want anybody to think I was stupid or to anybody to think like whatever. No. And so I was always very conscious of how people saw me. And like, I think it held me back from a lot. And I think that even starting the podcast was like horribly embarrassing for me. Like I was just like, I started this podcast and like it's stupid. Like don't like.
And and what we saw was like that bitch from day one.
And like at night I'm like literally
post.
And at night I'm like, why did I do this? This is so embarrassing. Because it's really vulnerable to like put yourself out there creatively.
Oh, it is.
And I wish that from a younger age I had that kind of like push to be like, it's like, who cares? Who cares what people think? Nothing's real. None of these people, like, it's like everything's temporary. Like in elementary school, if somebody makes fun of you, it's going to last 2 seconds. You're never going to think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're me and you've thought about it for the last 30 years. But,
like what?
But no, I don't know. just people probably making comments. But I wish that young me could let go of people's opinions, which I think all of us probably struggle with a lot. So
I think that makes us human.
Yeah, it's definitely very human to want to please the people around you and, you know, make people happy and do that. But yeah, definitely wish I had started earlier, from an earlier age, to just kind of not obsess over people's opinions. It was a really long answer, but
no, I love it. Give us all the details. Have you always? I mean, the personality we know and love, and it's obviously we understand that humans are so diverse and complex, and we're very multi-layered. And there's obviously a lot of sides to us that we don't see when we're off camera and when we're off a podcast. And so we feel like we know you very well, but I know there's a lot that for good reason, and we hope that there's a lot that you keep to yourself. That just keeps privacy and you're able to enjoy life that isn't super public. Yeah. But do you feel like you've always had that confidence? Like, do you know if there's like a time where you felt like a good sense of self, or has it just kind of accumulated? It's definitely accumulated, but I have really great parents who were really like, they were really encouraging of kind of any like job or dream or hobby or whatever. Like my parents really let us try everything and quit anything and then try again. And when I graduated high school, like my mom was really supportive of whatever path, you know, she wasn't like, you have to do college or you have to do this or you have to do this. She was like I came back to her 50 different times and was like, I want to be this. I want to be a baker. I want to be an esthetician. I want to be I want to be a nurse. I want to be I had a million different things. And so like that sense of like, I guess the sense of self thing was really rooted in kind of that freedom that my parents gave me, like to just kind of explore who I was and, you know, not be tied down to one thing or not say like, no, you have to do it this way. And that what didn't feel right to me. So I feel like I've always been an extrovert and I've always tried to have like a sense of confidence. But yeah, for sure, just kind of having the freedom to explore different sides of myself was how I accumulated all of that. So I was able to, and now that I've landed in this job, I mean, my mom will say it all the time that like, she was like, this is like what you were supposed to do. Like this is, but when you're, 16, you don't think like, I'm going to be a podcaster. Like I'm going to, but I really do think that like this career, and like, I don't think I'll podcast forever. I don't think I'll do it forever, but wherever it leads me next, like this career has been the culmination of everything that I love. So I love, I obviously love to talk because I never shut up, but I love to make people laugh. I love to connect with people. I love to, explore all, talk about things I love, like movies or food or travel or all of those things. And it gives me that freedom. So yeah, that's kind of where I've found myself. And I guess it's kind of ironic that I've found my sense of self in doing a lot of different things. Yeah. So rather than like, oh yes, I found myself because this job, it's more like I found. Oh, I am so sorry. It turned off and scared me. I was like, we're moving. The car's alive. The car's literally alive. You're going forward. I thought we were about to die. It's fine. We're parked. It's fine. I'm in fight or flight right now. No, I'm just kidding. So no, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. But yeah, so it's kind of ironic that I've kind of found my sense of self in a bunch of different things rather than one. So
Yeah.
I think it's good. I feel like it's good to not put yourself in a box.
Totally.
Because, and even like for life, like that life is just not, you don't have to plan it all. Like,
Well, and I tell people all the time, like, don't pick a lane. Don't, if you want to be a physicist with a like bread company on the side, like you can do it. Like anything that feels like I have so many things that I'm like, that doesn't feel like me or like my brand or like my whatever. And I'm like, who cares? Like I like to do it. So I'm going to do it. Like, you know, like, and that's the thing, is to kind of not be afraid of changing and not being afraid. Like I even think of right now in my life, like I've started like reading, like I love to read now.
We love that. Are you on the talk?
But like 2 years ago, I used to like roast myself for never reading. I used to be like, I would never read. Reading's stupid. Reading's boring. But now I'm like, oh, I can change actually, and I can find myself in a new way. And now I'm like, oh, I might love to read now, and that's fine. Like, is it my quote unquote brand? Probably not, but who cares? We're all changing all the time, so just kind of letting yourself do that, I think, is really important.
Oh, I love that. Oh, amen. I feel like this is just your permission to anyone that's listening, for me and Maddie. You know, you don't have to be that role. I think there's something on TikTok that just sounds like you can decide one day to be different than you've been. Yeah. You can have a new chapter. Thanks to Taylor Swift, we can have her eras, which, by the way, we are matching. This was not planned, but gorgeous. I love this.
I know.
And this was not like...
I was telling the guys in there, like, I have an ego about this sweatshirt because it's like, I take pride in having the blue crew neck.
Oh. The one that sold out.
Which show did you go to?
So I actually went to night one.
Oh, you did?
Eras. Yes, I did.
You went to Glendale?
Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was amazing. Best. That was probably, if I could go back, I mean, there's a few nights that I would pick to go to. Mm-hmm. But opening night is definitely one of them.
Oh my gosh. But there's like this whole pressure. And actually, have you seen the video on TikTok where they're like all singing All Too Well on the plane?
No. Oh, like, yeah.
This girl.
You were on there?
That was my video. Not to plug or anything, but it was
amazing.
Just like I was like, okay, listen, I feel like whatever you post about this event, I feel like a broadcaster just being like, we're on the scene. Yeah. We're at Glendale.
You were like boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. We had literally everyone in Swiftie Nation, like Taylor Nation. So
literally.
On TikTok, on standby, just waiting for any little crumb, and we're all just like freaking out. We're like, okay, we've got like the whole pre-party, we got all the outfits, that's one part of it. We got, we're in line, we've got our outfits, got our 13s, we got everything. And then the people, the community, honestly, same energy for our bad broadcast listeners. No, I'm not kidding you. And I was thinking that, I was like, really similar energy where we're just like, love each other.
That's the key to success, is just get a bunch of Swifties to like your stuff, and then they're already preconditioned for like community and love. Right. That like they'll just bring it.
Broadcast like friendship bracelets. next year.
I know somebody made a bad broad blood.
I saw that
bracelet, and I was like,
whoever you are, that was amazing.
I know. I want to say it was Tanya. But correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I was like, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But so what you were saying earlier is that permission. Taylor Swift gives us permission.
Oh yeah, you can have like we took a whole like detour. I love it. But I feel like, Taylor Swift gives us a permission to reinvent ourselves.
Definitely.
Mother is always there to give us all the empowerment.
Yes. I mean, it's so true. It's like you can be 1,000 different versions of yourself all the time. Who cares? You can play. I mean, I like, you can be a different character today than you were yesterday. Who cares?
Yeah. No, and I also want to commend you just for just being so real and so open. And obviously there are things that we don't know, but we are so respectful. All of us.
I know.
We are always wanting the best for you.
You really are. You really are. Because I've had to set because that's one of the things that I was talking about earlier. Because definitely the job and the this audience, I mean, it comes with stuff. I've had to like set firmer boundaries of like, okay, what am I going to share and what am I going to talk about? What am I going to, especially because well, and I'm pregnant now, so it's like, I have a kid to think about in the future. Like, what are my boundaries going to be like with them and all of that. So, but yeah, everybody's been wonderful. I mean, I haven't had anybody do anything weird. I mean, except for like a few weird things, but for the majority,
just go up and ask her how she's doing. You don't have to touch her belly or anything.
Don't like feel me up in public, but other than that, we're pretty cool.
Which, by the way, you're glowing.
Oh, that's so nice of you. I don't feel glowy at all.
Oh my gosh, you do. And
Thanks.
I know it's the motherly glow, but it's also just like who you are and just like your light. And also,
Stop.
I don't know if you knew this, but she is an esthetician.
I am legally. Yeah.
Not illegally.
Never used it a day in my life, but I sure can wash my face.
Do you use Glymed? Or like
I use Glymed. Yeah, I do love. That's good. Are you an esthetician?
Actually, I went all the way. Okay, I'm so sorry to wrap myself out. I'm talking about like you need to like follow your dreams. I literally for a second. So talking about eras, I was like fully. I'm the same way with you. Like I've had so many different things. I have 15 businesses, and not important.
Incredible. It's exactly what you should.
That, you have things that you love, and you just love trying new things, and it's okay to quit. It's okay.
That normalized quitting. I say it all the time.
Yeah. It's like, I would rather you be happy and then find what you want. That's not it. Redirection. You find what you love, and I'm hoping that other people listening to this have full permission.
Yeah.
But I did during COVID. I had the opportunity to do a little bit of esthetician school.
Amazing.
Online.
I love that.
And I love learning about eyelashes and peels and medical peels and everything. And and I love that chapter. She enjoyed it, and it's okay. We're moving on to other things.
Yeah, it's a different era.
Yeah, different era. I'm pretty sure that was like a lover era. We're just like loving all of our stuff. I'm pretty sure it was a breakup album. Did you hear about that?
Lover?
Yeah, Lover. Or was it Lover and Midnights? I heard that Midnights was
I've heard that Midnights is probably a breakup album, which totally checks out. And Lover, I mean, and I've talked about this on the Patreon before, is that like, because people are like, oh, Lover is her and Joe's album.
Yeah.
But Reputation is her and Joe's album, I think.
Really?
Like that is their like hot and heavy, super lovey.
Like what she made me do.
Yeah, like dress, like sexy. Like, and then Lover is kind of the point in their relationship, I think. And I've seen other people post this too, but that it's kind of like the more anxious stage of a relationship. Mm-hmm. It's more like, are we or aren't we, can we always be this close? Yeah. Like, can we, all of these, the kind of the more anxious part. And then we enter like, Folklore and Evermore, which is like not even about them. And then Midnights, I'm like, that's their breakup.
Yeah. Oh,
I think.
Man.
But anyway, that was totally beside the point.
I've never heard about like in that way. Just because the whole Scooter Braun thing.
Yeah.
Like, everything and like Kanye and Kim. Mm-hmm. There's a whole thing where it's like, man, we're hearing about Scooter Braun's cancellation. And I'm just like, oh boy. Don't mess with our queen.
Yeah. But you were saying your esthetician school was that era.
We were taking so many left turns and it's all my fault.
No. Oh my gosh. No, we're just chit-chatting.
We're catching up.
But yeah, I love going back to what you're saying about being an esthetician. I still love all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, I've always loved skincare. I've always loved self-care, whatever, masks, facials, all that. So and when I found aesthetic school, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is how I'm going to connect with people. Like I'm going to get clients and I'm going to start this business and so I knew I was always kind of chasing that feeling of like connecting with people. And so now I do it in a different way, but I still love skincare. So I use Glymed. Like I can still get it with my aesthetics license. I get I can get it in bulk. Like it's amazing. I have a few faves. I need to do more like kind of Instagram like links of everything I love because I
would love that.
It is definitely it's now I'm like a hobbyist esthetician.
You're like, so we just get all the cool discounts and we have amazing skin.
Yeah. And I don't do anybody else's, but I do my own, and I will wax your nose if you need. That's like my party trick. Like over the holidays, like I bring my wax pot and I'm like, I can wax noses. So I wax all my brother's noses. Like that's
clean noses for Christmas.
Yes, literally. I need to go get a new wax pot because holidays are approaching and I'm going to have to get to waxing.
Oh my gosh.
That's about the extent of how much I use my aesthetics license.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Yeah. So I'm actually due for, I have all my hours. I just have to go and take the test.
Do it,
which I'm kind
girl.
of like, I should. Yeah. But I'm also like, I'm never going to use it.
You might.
You
never know, but you might as well have it because that's the other thing with the aesthetics license. I can get skincare in bulk and I can also I can get hair care.
Oh, wait.
Because if you have an aesthetics license in Utah, you can shop at like the cosmetology stores.
Oh, girl, they know me. And I just read off of our friendship a little bit. Just like, oh, hey, girl, what's up?
Yeah.
I was a student like forever ago, like 3 years ago. And they're like, oh, yeah.
Well, and I used to like lie because I used to go in and like buy Olaplex and like the expensive stuff that I didn't want to buy at Sephora. And I would buy it and I would buy like the back bar sizes and whatever. And they'd be like, oh, is this for your salon? And I would be like, yeah, because I felt like I was like lying because I'm not a cosmetologist. I'm an esthetician. And then I was like, why am I doing this? It's legal. Like, I don't need to lie. And I'll be like, no, I just buy it for myself now. Like, that's why I have basically why I have a license.
It's giving. Do you know what it's giving?
What?
It's giving like the whole like apple thing where like you like put the way the apples, but you put Honeycrisp because it's a little bit cheaper than
oh yes,
green
I like to do slightly dishonest things sometimes, and I get in a lot of trouble for it. And I try not to do it now because I'm always afraid that somebody like is watching over my shoulder,
like a cop's listening.
Yeah, like somebody
or like an Apple police or like
the grocery police. But yeah, I sometimes, again, don't come for me. I don't do it all the time anymore.
It's okay.
But I used to like, get Honeycrisp apples and then at self-checkout, do a little a little Red Delicious code. I maybe was being charged for Red Delicious when I was getting Honeycrisp.
I think like the amount that's going to the farmers, it's getting to them.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the upcharge,
Yeah. But I have tried, I've tried to eliminate any sort of dishonesty, but I did get like a 1-star review when I did that. And they were like, this woman encourages theft. And I'm like, damn, okay, I'm not
like, so sorry. I need a press conference here.
I'm like, I did not know that it was this sensitive of a topic.
You're like,
she must like work for Big Apple or something. I don't know. But like she was really, really upset by it. So yeah, I need to do another one of those episodes. Because yeah, some people just like, people were like, oh, I fill up my cart at Target and then I walk out. I'm like, okay, that's stealing. Like that's a little above what I'm talking about.
We're like, yeah, that's a little different. I feel like,
that is thievery. Am I saying your name right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it was Tiana.
No, you're good.
Okay. I said that and then I was like, I didn't even ask her.
Well, the way that I like processed it in my head, I was like, I have a Patreon.
You're like, mine, it's ours.
You're like, it's ours.
It belongs to us.
Now,
yeah.
Like those couples, it's like everything turns to we.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's us now. Yeah. I don't have anything to promote. I mean, I have a lot of people ask me about live events and stuff, and like especially now people are like, how do we throw a bad broad baby shower and how do we do? And so I literally called Meg last night and I was like, how do we, because I've had a lot of dreams of events. I'm like, how do I, but I don't really know. I'm not an event girl. So if you're an event planner and you're out there and you're listening, hit me up because I would love to do a live event and do some sort of like get together or something. Not to get presents. I want nobody to buy me any presents. Please, 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 please. But just some sort of like girls' night I would love to do. So when that happens,
send them to me. I'll send them to her.
Yes. When that happens, I will be promoting the heck out of it.
Oh, well, do you know what? I know there was something on the Facebook page where it's like when you announced, that was almost like it should have been in People. And the way that people responded to it, I honestly think because we all just became ants.
They were, no,
I
that
am
was
not an ant.
Somebody said that. Somebody commented that. They said this baby has so many aunties, like they don't even know. And I was like, that is the nicest thing I've ever. And like, it's so sweet. It's so true. And like, so I'm hopeful for like what I can share about having a baby and being a mom and all of that, but while keeping it, them safe and not, because that's the thing is that there's a lot of kids on the internet these days. And I don't like it. I think maybe it's time.
And we totally respect that.
Yeah.
And we'll just be loving from afar.
I know. You guys will love them from afar and you guys will be there for every little moment. And I'm so excited.
We could not even like know their name or like what, like if they're a boy or girl.
This could just be a fake pregnancy.
And we will be like, we love your fake pregnancy.
You're like that imaginary baby you had. We love them. That's so funny.
We're here for it.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope to do something in person soon. I don't get to do in person enough because that's the other thing is that people are like, oh, you're probably such a good public speaker. I'm like, I record alone in a room. Like I have no public speaking. Because people are like, why don't you do live shows? I'm like, because being in front of an audience is terrifying. Like that's the scariest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. So I need to get better at that. Get some live events going. Get to hanging.
Well, it feels like a one-on-one anyway, you know. And I feel like whatever's working, we'll take whatever you want. And then you're always welcome in the Tesla.
I would love to return to the
Bestie
Tesla.
and the Tessie.
I am vibing in this. Oh my gosh. I literally, what is wrong with me? I want video of how high I jump when that happens. No, I would love to return to the Tessie anytime.
You know what?
Whose Tessie is this?
This is the studio's.
Oh, it's
so we just have it on hand.
Studio's richer than me.
You know what? You can just be here. Like, you're a part of the fam.
I know. When
you're here, you're family.
I literally walked in and I was like, cool, I live here now. I work here now.
Maddie, you want to see your room?
I'm like,
got like your shelf in the cupboard for your snacks.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically, that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm still in a little bit of Firefly. I don't know if you feel the same way with like the car being alive.
That's how I was.
Do you remember that one show that was on Disney Channel? If you know, you know. The what was it, like Live Home or something? What was that one Smart House where the house was
Live
alive?
Home. Live Home.
You know, it's just like, you know, the copyright. We can't do the exact
but
name
that's
of
how
it.
I feel when I talk to Alexa. I'm like, I have a smart house. She turns on music for me. Like, I live in a smart house.
Well, like, wasn't that really funny? Remember that one part where they're like, oh crap, we had a party and now we have to throw all the trash on the ground and the trash is like sunk into the ground.
Yeah, Alexa does that for me.
I feel like we should be, I mean, Elon, if you're listening, please come up with something with your very important time.
Yes.
This is what we need.
Yes.
Carpet that absorbs our messes.
Yes.
And makes it a little bit easier for us.
100%.
I did have one thing I wanted to share.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things that you do on your show is the Dum Dum Club. Would you tell us like what the Dum Dum Club is?
Yeah, so the Dum Dum Club is a club that we all belong to, whether you know it or not. It's things that like you didn't understand until you got older.
Mm-hmm.
Like little, most of the time it's like little sayings or like things you misheard. Like a lot of people think it's like all intensive purposes or I'm trying to think, like a lot of people think it's like hand-me-downs instead of hand-me-downs.
We've all done it.
Like little things like that. Like my example I always give is that I didn't know till I was like 25 that Pirates of the Caribbean took place in the Caribbean. Like I thought it was in England. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. They're on an island.
Was it not?
I mean, honestly, I could be convinced either way, but that's the Dum Dum Club kind of. Yeah. So when those things come up, when people are like, oh my gosh, I always thought this, I'm like, that's Dum Dum Club right there.
Oh my gosh. And I think of them on the daily, honestly.
Oh, they happen to me every day.
Well, there is like that one.
I just learned what fly fishing is.
What's fly fishing?
Like, I thought that fly fishing was just standing while you fish.
Is it not?
No. It's like a specific type of fishing with like certain flies, I guess, or something.
Like they just hook the fly?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm saying this, but I don't know exactly what fly fishing is, but I know it's not just stand fishing.
That's a good point.
And you let it fly. Like, that's what I thought fly fishing was.
Yeah. I feel like I just learned something.
Yeah, my whole life is a lie. But anyway, that's
Well, I mean, when I listen to them, sometimes admittedly, I learn
a lot from them.
You know, I'm like, wait, are they wrong though?
Yeah.
And I know that you said like, oh yeah, Alaska wasn't a state. Somebody was like,
no, Alaska's not an island. It's a state.
Island is a state.
It is a state. But yeah, a lot of us learned, like, we looked at the map of the United States and like we saw Alaska in the little square at the bottom.
Which I think they should explain that. Like,
yeah. So a lot of us grew up thinking like, well, Alaska's an island.
Right.
Or a lot of people like learned that narwhals are real because people thought that they were a fictional character, like from Elf.
But are they real?
They're real. Mm-hmm. Are you just learning this now?
Thank you for telling me.
Yes, they're real. You can Google. They have a horn. Like it's actually a tooth. It's not even a horn. It's considered a tooth. But yeah, narwhals are real. Gosh. Yeah, crazy, huh?
I'm inducted to this Dum Dum Club again on the daily. I'm re-inducted every day.
Yes, me too.
There's this one episode that I love and I think about a lot. I think about often, where somebody was like, I thought that the Mount Rushmore was a natural occurrence, and I was like, wait. Was it not?
Oh yeah, like they thought it just showed up.
I'm just like really just like exposing myself. I'm the reason that there's the Dum Dum Club right now.
No, that's for the record. I literally am. I am the dumbest person I know. But yeah, somebody thought that like Mount Rushmore just looked like that. Like they didn't know that somebody carved it in.
Like every country just has like their main people. Just like, hey, we've got like, you know.
No, I think they thought that like the wind like carved it.
Or like water.
Yeah, or like water. Like it just like, and then it just happened to look like presidents. And that's why people went.
You know what? I think for a long time I did believe that.
Yeah, I probably did too. So I don't blame them.
But did you ever see that one video of that one guy that was filming his wife? And so it's an old video where they're like, okay, so my wife here thinks that, you know, she's confused why Columbia or District of Columbia is in the U.S. pageant, Miss USA. And then I was
like why DC
along.
is?
Like the District of Columbia, how that's Washington, D.C.
Right.
And so I was following along, listening to this, and I'm like, really into it. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they're like, yeah, so my wife thinks like there's no reason why they should be involved because they're in Colombia. And she's like, no, because it's a different country. And then when he finally figured that out, he's like, District of Columbia. She's like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I'm with her. Like, I'm for the girls. Yeah. I support her. Like, she does not sound like, I see no wrong here. What's going on? And he's like, District of Columbia is Washington, D.C. And she's like, no. And I was like, no.
Yeah. And then here we were. That one confused a lot of people. Are like, why is Washington, D.C. not in Washington State? And I'm like,
actually really curious.
Yeah, but I thought that forever. I was like, why? Like, no, nothing makes sense. We're all so stupid. It's bad. But
we're in it together.
Yeah.
We're not alone.
And being dumb is funny, so who cares? It's way funnier than being smart.
Hey, when you're here, your family, I'm pretty sure that... Is that ours? No. Just kidding.
Should be, though.
That's definitely... we now own it.
Yes.
Now it's ours.
100%.
It's ours.
Yes.
It's our bad
broadcast. Yes,
yeah.
It's our bad broadcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of feel like Bobby right now, where she's just like, have you seen Bobby on TikTok?
No. Oh, Bobby Altoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's hilarious.
Yeah, and she just sits there straight-faced.
And then like Tyga's just like...
She's like, it's ours.
And she's like, so how much money would you like be able to lose and just give to me and not even notice it's gone? And she's like $50K or something. She's like,
that's what I need.
That? And so basically we should just like...
I wish I had that to give you, but I don't.
Power. You can DM Drake and just be like...
I could, yeah.
Hey, sponsor me forever. But it sounds like you have a very supportive partner, and I'm so happy for you. And honestly, we could just sit here all day.
I know.
It's raining outside. We have our sweatshirts.
I know. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I love this weather.
It's more like just like cozy, you know? So wherever you're listening to this, if you're just in your house, in your car, we're in the car with you.
Yes.
And gosh, there are so many things that I can say, Maddie, and so many words of affirmation. Adoration, admiration. Another dumb club. It's fine.
Honestly, I'll take any of them. I'll take any of the words. Any of the words. No, that's so nice. I'm so glad you asked me to come on. You're the best.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. And you know what? This just means we have to have another episode.
Yes, 100%. I will be back in the Tessie anytime.
You just pick any of the cars and we'll just like hit it up.
Okay, we can do it in my little Volkswagen.
Oh my gosh, let's go. Maddie in the steering wheel.
Yes.
In the front seat. But if it's not too weird, just know I love you and I speak for all of us. I speak for all the aunties.
Don't all cry.
And just keep on going. Oh my gosh, I sound like your aunt.
No, that's like, so nice.
Good
no,
job, Maddie.
I really do appreciate it. I appreciate anybody, like I said, anybody who listens and who supports, and it just makes everything possible. So I love you. Love you right back.
Oh, thanks, Bestie. All right. Well, please go follow her on the Bad Broadcast. Go subscribe to her Patreon.
Yes.
And get yourself some merch. When it drops, it's quick. So I'm warning you right now. I had my Bad Broad. I have all my broad stuff in there. But when I saw that we had our t-shirt, I had to do that.
Yeah.
But go support this girl. You need a Maddie in your life. And go send her some love. She's going to be an amazing mom.
You're the best. That is the best compliment ever.
And I'm so excited for just everything that's going to come for you.
Thanks. So. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Talk to you soon.
Okay,
bye.